Hi, in this video let's talk about methods. Go supports methods for user-defined types. We have already seen user-defined types previously. So if you see here, this is a user-defined type with name counter and underlying type is struct. If you come to line 18, score is also a user-defined type. I can use this score as a replacement of int anywhere in the file, right? So if you see here, I created a map of key type string and value type score, which is nothing but a int. Yeah. Method declarations look same like function declarations, but with one addition, which is the receiver specification, which is in between funky word and the method name. So this part here is a receiver specification. As I said before, Go only supports methods for user defined type. If I try to change to int, you can see cannot define new methods on non-local type int. Methods must be declared in the same package as their associated type. Right? If I say counter, I have declared in our file in our package, right? So I'm able to use counter here, but int is not in the same package, so I can't use int here. But I can use score. That's valid because I have declared it in our package. Let's try invoking the string method here. You can see we got this statement printed. Because we have not initialized any values to total and last updated, we will have the uh, 0 value. Next, let's look at pointer receivers and value receivers. So we have already seen an example of value receiver. So in this method, the receiver here is of value type. Now in increment method, you can see it's of type pointer. So this is a pointer receiver. So you want to use a pointer receiver when you want to modify your receiver. Otherwise, just go with a value receiver. Okay. Now let's say c dot increment. So because this is a pointer receiver, incrementing the value total plus plus will also increment the value in main. Initially it is 0, next you can see it's 1. So you might get a doubt, I'm not invoking increment through a pointer when the receiver is a pointer. So internally Go converts it to end C. That's why we're not facing any error here. Okay. What will happen if I invoke a method with a nil instance? See here, has already been assigned a address and fields in C will have their 0 values. Right? Int will have 0 and last update time is will have some time. Now let's say C is a pointer which points to type counter. Okay, this is a nil pointer, right? It is not being pointed to anything right now. If I try to invoke, okay, value receiver, I'll get a panic. But if I try to invoke a pointer receiver, I can go inside the function and I can handle the nil instance. So I have changed the code here. If C is nil, I want to return from here. Let's say first let's try invoking a value receiver. You can see we got a panic, a runtime error, invalid memory address or nil pointer dereference. Fine. Now let's try invoking increment, which is a pointer receiver. You see, I just returned from the function and I didn't get any panic. I handled the nil instance here. So that's how you can handle nil instances in a pointer receiver method. Okay. Now let's talk about method values and method expressions. I have a struct adder which contains a element of type int. I also have a method with receiver type as adder which returns a integer and takes a integer parameter. What I'm returning is the sum of a and the val. I declared a adder, my adder here, with a as 10. Now I can try to invoke add2 using my adder. I can just say my adder dot add2. Let's give it as 5, and this will return 15. So I can assign this function to some other variable, let's say x. My adder dot add2. Now you can see the type of x is basically it's a function which takes in a value and returns a int value. So that's what add to signature is. Now I can use x as a normal function and try to invoke add to from that. It's 20. Here x is more like a closure. It can access the values of the instance from which it was created. So this will be 10 plus 10, and that's 20. This is called a method value. Coming to method expression, you can directly use adder instead of creating an instance of adder type. That is called a method expression. It will return a function whose signature will look something like this. So basically you need to pass an adder to it, and because you don't know from which instance it is created, let's create a variable y from the type directly and dot add to. You can see this is a function which takes in a adder value and returns a int. So here I'm already creating x using a instance. Here I don't have any instance and there's no way I can access a. I need to pass adder to it. And then y, and I'll pass my adder to it on value of 10. Let's see what's been printed. It's 20. 10 plus 10, 20. Okay, that's about methods. Thank you.